throat's just a bit dry. I don't know why. It could be because I haven't had anything to drink yet, but I do have water with me, so hopefully that'll help. So today is gonna be a movie review, and today I'll be reviewing Terrifier. So Terrifier was released in theaters March 15th, 2018. So oh my, then that must be a weird coincidence because we're in March and the 15th is not too far from now because it's on Friday. Oh my. Okay, that's a little freaky because I had no idea that it was released this month on the 15th, which is this Friday. So and back in 2016, no, I'm sorry, 18. Wow. Okay, weird. A little scary coincidence there. But anyway, it was directed and written by Damien Leone, if that's how you say it. I'm so sorry. Starring Jenna Cannell, Samantha Scafidi, David Howard Thornton, and Catherine Corcoran, and music by Paul Wiley. And so yeah, and okay, so this movie is about, of course, this scary looking clown called Art the Clown, and he stalks and kills 3 women in an old apartment building. So this is and I only seen it once, and yes, I will do a story time on that of when I first watched it, but that won't be anytime soon. But from what I know, even just seeing it once, is that it is this scary, it's just a scary, brutal horror movie. And I say that because even, I would say, with the atmosphere of it, I would say it's gloomy in a way. There's some gloom to the atmosphere, and it feels just very eerie. It just feels just feels like something's very off, like something doesn't quite feel right, and it does feel scary because it feels like, is there someone there watching you, stalking you, and out of nowhere, you see this clown right before you, and before you know it, before you could even have the chance to try to escape, this clown will manage to follow you and to to really stalk you to the point of where he wants to kill you. And my question is, why was he stalking these women and kill them, especially the way he did? Was there any specific reason for it? Was there some kind of motive to why he killed these women? Like, was there anything about them that he somehow knew and he just somehow hated them, so he wanted to kill them? Or could it be just the fact that there was no motive or any reason to why he wanted to kill these women, and it may not be anything specific at all, or anything about them, but it could be just the fact that he's this sadistic, just this cold, very heartless a clown killer, where to him it doesn't matter like who it was, or it doesn't matter if it was one of these women or not, or if it was someone else, because he would just kill them anyway, because because he's heartless. He's this soulless clown who could just kill anyone with no motive, no reason at all, just because he wants to. And I find that very terrifying. I would say it's especially terrifying when someone kills someone for no reason, only because they want to. And I find that just, of course, very sick. But then again, even for someone who does have a reason, it's still just very wrong. It's just, it's still just not right. Overall, reason or not, motive or not, above all, it's just very, sick, and just, completely wrong, in so many ways. But yeah, and so now, of course, how it starts off is that it shows this TV screen, and we see this face that we see on the TV screen. And as we get closer, we can see that it looks like, a woman's face. And we can see that it is, but as we get closer and closer, we can see her face looks completely disfigured. And I just want to say that when I saw that actually did scare me, seeing how her face looked like, from the beginning, only because it reminded me of something that I don't ever want to think about or look back on, because it just gives me nightmares. I'll just mention real quick, it just reminded me of the show Beyond Belief, of this one story from season 3, and the story is called Mirror of Truth, which of course I've mentioned on my channel before, where she was not this nice person, and after she gets her makeup done, she doesn't like it, so she complains about it to the person who did her makeup. And so this woman, she had put a curse on her. And so when she went home later that day, and when she looked at herself in the mirror, her face does not look the same. Now, as we see later on, is that now her face looks fine, it looks normal physically, but when she looks back in the mirror, her face in the reflection only looks like this horrible, disfigured, scary face. And so seeing that, of course, just completely traumatized me and gave me nightmares, and my sister too. And so seeing how this woman, how her face looked scary and disfigured, and that reminded me of that one story from Beyond Belief. And because of that, I'm like, oh no, I don't want to go back there. I do not want to revisit that terrifying and traumatizing moment of that, but it was already too late. But of course, as we can see that later, it shows as she's telling her story of what happened to her, that it shows what happened before of what did happen to her. And it shows about, this this clown, Art the Clown. And what I find really scary about Art the Clown is that he doesn't speak. And he's just very quiet, and he makes these face expressions that look so creepy. Oh gosh, my eyes twitching just thinking about it. Ugh. So yeah, I just find that weird that he doesn't say anything. He doesn't speak. And I think that's the scary part about him. But what's also scary is that when he is stalking these women, he does, of course, kill them, but even the way he kills them is just so, like, oh gosh, it's so, it's so graphic, so gory, so brutal, and that just really makes me uneasy. It does. And I just want to say that the actor who played Art the Clown, I would say he did a really great job playing this killer, clown killer, only because he was so convincing, so great at it, that he had me completely terrified of him. Because as some of you may not know, I'm actually I also have a phobia of clowns too, so seeing this was just quite scary and also quite uneasy. Yeah, I remember just watching this and just like, okay, what's going on? Because I remember I've seen it, but this was completely different from it, very. And but yeah, like I said, that the atmosphere just seems to be like this dark, somewhat like dim lit, gloomy atmosphere, and it just feels very eerie. It just feels very off, like something's there watching you, and it's a very uneasy feeling, and I feel even the atmosphere itself feels uneasy and just scary in itself. And I feel with Art the Clown's presence, well, not his presence, I meant, is that it's also very uneasy and very unnerving and just overall unsettling. It really is. And but I would say, okay, so that itself, I would say, I think with those who had worked on this movie did a great job making it feel like that with this movie. And like I said, the actor who played Art the Clown did a great job. I would say he did an amazing job. He did, so I'll give him credit for that, because he's so good at that. Like I said, it's very convincing to the point where if I ever saw him dressed up as Art the Clown with the costume and the makeup, I would feel so scared not to go near him, and I would just be backing away, and but yeah, that's just me. But I want to say with the kill count in this movie is like I said, very graphic, so gory and brutal. And I wish I had looked away when this happened. Now here's the thing, because I only saw it once, I forgot how the other two were killed. But there is one that sticks out, which like I said, I wish I had looked away when this happened, but I didn't. Yeah, and there is this other woman, of how he killed her, and I was not expecting this at all. I mean, especially that I was not expecting, and seeing that, I felt like, yeah, I wish it was something I wish I forgot that I had seen that. Because what happened was, where was it? I think there was in the basement, I think, some kind of, apartment basement, I think. And so he had her chained up, like, there were chains around her ankles, and she was hanging upside down. So when she was hanging upside down from these chains holding her up, I thought, now in my mind, I thought, I was thinking of something different of how he might kill her. But then he gets a chainsaw. So now when he got this chainsaw, I thought, okay, he's gonna do something. So in my mind, I'm thinking he's gonna do something. I don't know what. I'm guessing it might be he might do this. He might either do that. But I was completely wrong to how he was gonna kill her, because I was going through it in my mind. So I'm thinking he might kill her this way, he might kill her that way, but I don't know, because even if he does, that's gonna be horrible. But I was wrong, because he kills her in such a way that was, to me, I think it's just beyond sickening and disgusting, and it's just so beyond horrible that I just feel like no one deserves to die like that, even if it's a fictional character. But what happened was is that he, as he gets the chainsaw, he starts from where her, from there, and you know what I mean? Like, I would say down to her neck, her throat. Oh my gosh. Honestly, I just want to say, seeing that, that traumatized me. I would say, you know, but yeah, to me, seeing that was so beyond disturbing and sickening, and so beyond brutal that I was just in complete shock, and I was just so, like, you know, and yeah, so like I said, I was just complete, oh gosh, I can't speak, but the thing is that I hated that. I really hated that, and I just felt like, okay, that is the most disturbing, the most horrible, so very unsettling, and like that beyond sickening, death scene that I've ever seen, and I really just felt so bad to how she even died like that. And I even thought, like, I've never seen a character die like that before, and I thought, no one, I mean, no one deserves to be killed like that. Especially even if it's a fictional character, like even if it's in a horror movie. So I feel like no matter what kind of horror movie it may be, whether if it's a slasher or more like a gore type of movie, or if it's a sci-fi horror, no matter what kind of horror movie it might be, I feel like no fictional character, whether if it's a good guy or a bad guy, no fictional character deserves to be killed off like that. I mean, and yeah, honestly, I wish they could have at least not had shown that. But of course, we live in a generation where everything is seen, where even the most very gory, very, very disturbing, very unsettling, and very brutal death scenes that are shown, and how it's shown in detail how they're being killed. And honestly, I just gotta be honest, but I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of seeing how this character is being killed to the point of seeing details of it. Like, I don't like that. I don't know, I just wish when it comes to certain death scenes, especially if it's going to be very graphic, very gory and brutal, I feel like not to show that, because I don't want that picture in my head, especially this mental picture in my head where it's like now I won't forget about it and I won't able to unsee that. So now for those who even don't mind seeing scenes like that, and if you can handle it, that's fine. But there are just some, I would say this, there are some scenes where I feel like I can handle, but when it comes to a character being killed off in such a way that it's going to be so uh, horrible and very gory and brutal, then no, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see how this character is going to their meet their demise in a very cold, very uh, in a very cold-blooded way of, where it's like to the unimaginable. So yeah, I don't like that. But anyway, yeah, I don't like that death scene. So I just want to say that now, of course, I will say everyone did a good job with this movie, but yeah, this is just a very, like I said, it's intense. This is, yeah, it's, I would say some parts of it, of course, are gory, and overall, it's just, eerie. It's just very creepy and scary, terrifying, and those death scenes are quite brutal, and it's so, like I said, uneasy, just very unnerving. So seeing that, I felt like my stomach just turned completely, and I just did not feel good seeing that. Ugh, at all, which is why I only saw it once. But yeah, I just want to say everyone did a good job for the movie, working on this movie and making it feel of this very of the atmosphere of it, and everyone did a good job. The cast did a good job with their performances, and even with the effects were really good, and the music as well. And so yeah, I would say everything, I'll just say this, I'll give it 4 stars of how everyone worked on this movie with the effects, the music, the atmosphere of the movie, and how they told the story. But as far as to the death scenes and to, yeah, I would say with the death scenes, uh, mm, I don't have anything good to say about that, only because I don't like those death scenes, and I wish they could have at least not have shown that. But then again, I don't think it would have been Terrifier if it wasn't for those scenes, but still, I just like scenes where it cuts off and it just leaves you to the imagination of what could be going on, but you don't see it happening. But like I said, that's just me though. um, so yeah, that's my review on Terrifier. So anyway, I'm sorry, somehow my throat feels kind of yeah, dry, a little bit more dry than usual, which I don't know why. But I would say, so yeah, that's my review. But to rate it, I would, okay, I would actually, I would say I would give it a B, for how everyone did a good job on the movie and everything. I would give it would say 50%. Um, I would give it a 6.1 out of 10, and I would give it at least, I would say 3.5 stars. But yeah, I mean, like I said, that's just me. That's just my review and my rating on it. And I know there's a lot of people who do love the movie, especially, um, if you're a horror fan. And I just want to say that I do like horror movies. I do. So I do like horror movies, and I respect the genre. But I would say when it comes to movies like this, where it's gory and it shows things where it's just gonna be very, like, very, probably beyond graphic, beyond gory, and just so utterly brutal. I just don't like those movies because it really unsettles me, and it really does something, to your mind, mentally. So it's like, But I'm just saying, now, there are some other horror movies I do like, that I do prefer, that I don't mind watching at all, but when it comes to these ones, I would say ones that probably are more graphic than this, or more gory, more brutal, then yeah, that's where I don't like it, because like I said, it's just very unsettling, and it just makes me feel to the point where I don't feel so good, to my stomach, and I feel like my stomach is just turning because I just don't like what I'm seeing. But like I said, other than that, there's just other horror movies that I do like, that I do prefer on watching, and there's nothing wrong with that. Everyone's different, and like I said, that's okay. So anyway, yeah, that's my review on Terrifier. I hope you enjoyed this. And so yeah, leave a comment down below if you're a fan of Terrifier. And yes, I did watch part 2. Well, of course, I only saw it once, and it was last year, so I'm gonna review on part 2 sometime this year. I just don't know when. And there's gonna be, yes, I know there's gonna be a third. I don't know if there's a trailer for it. I don't know if there's like a full-length trailer, but if you want to see me react to one, let me know. And am I gonna go see the third one? Honestly, I don't know. Maybe not. Only because if it goes too far to the point where if it's gonna show something that I probably won't even like at all, then it will be best if I don't. But yeah, like I said, it all depends, but again, okay, I said what I had to say. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed this. So for more movie content, reactions, and dreams, subscribe and click on the bell so you'll be notified when I upload. That's all for today, and I'll see you at the movies.